Battlefield 6 is proving to be a massive success on Steam, even surpassing EA's last big hit, Apex Legends' all-time concurrent player count. Quite the achievement considering Apex Legends itself was free to play. But what does this mean for cloud gaming? Well, I think we're about to have another Cyberpunk 2077 moment. And by that I mean that there's going to be an influx of new users coming to the cloud to check the game out simply because it's a new big release that people want to play that not everyone could run. Credit where it's due, this game doesn't seem to be having the same game-breaking issues and performance issues on consoles and PCs that game had. Regardless, Battlefield 6 is a good-looking game, and it's one a ton of people are hyped for and want to check out with all the bells and whistles. Don't just take my word for it though, take a look at the Steam charts and you can see over 747,000 people were playing this online yesterday at the same time. Success aside, let's talk about the overall impact it's had in the cloud space, because trust me, there's been an impact and I'm sure many of you are aware. On launch day, EMEA servers actually went down for GeForce Now. That means people were having issues even launching the client. The issue lasting from 8 AM to 1 PM Pacific time. They made note of this on their GeForce Now service status page. I will give props to nvidia for the clean and concise information as it happened, not to mention also addressing that they are looking and monitoring the experience globally. Another very interesting thing that happened that same day is the disabling of the install to play feature. Now, said feature was restored the following day, so by the time you're watching this video, it's up and running again, but it is worth pointing out that this happened, because it's important to acknowledge that some users couldn't play games they were working their way through because they only run through install to play. I do wonder what the solution to this type of issue is, because it can be frustrating if you're a user that's impacted and have no interest in Battlefield. I think it'd be great if nvidia had some sort of system to apply a free day of GFN Ultimate for those who have paid and were impacted by those issues during that time frame. Another topic of interest I think is the onboarding experience, because I saw a lot of people were waiting for Battlefield 6 to get added initially. In fact, something happened that I haven't really had happen on the channel before other than when Cyberpunk came out, and that's that people were commenting on my old videos about Battlefield 6 arriving on GFN, asking exactly when it would be available, and that was pretty interesting to see. Now, I do know for a fact that nvidia tries their best to make sure games are added as soon as possible when a new game launches, especially when it's a big hit like Battlefield 6. And while I'm not sure on the key specific details on how it works, we do know that GeForce Now is capable of launching games alongside launch times. Borderlands 4 being the most recent example, and it makes me believe that both nvidia and the publisher have to work together to make that happen. I'm hoping nvidia gets some solid data on player count so they can showcase to EA that there is interest for their games on the cloud, and maybe they'll consider bringing other heavy hitters over like FIFA. It's a bit of a funny thing because all these negatives do suck to deal with, but it's also a really good sign. At the end of the day, all it means is that more and more users are willing and looking to try out the cloud. If anything, I would have been a bit more concerned if a major release like Battlefield 6 happened and no issues propped up. It's a bit of a funny scenario where it sucks for us end users, but at the end of the day, it's probably what's going to convince nvidia to continue investing in this space. Not only that, but it may help the remaining publishers who have yet to embrace the cloud to convince them to bring their titles over for users who just want to buy and play their games. They're legitimately just leaving money on the table there. There is one other big reason why I'm happy to see this level of success though, and that's because GeForce Now Ultimate is legitimately a game changer. I think there's no better company to really showcase just how good cloud gaming can get in the here and now. And what better proof is there than letting people play the latest AAA multiplayer shooter that everyone's hyped about and actually competing with the rest? Once again, this is going to highly depend on your connection to the GFN servers, but in my case, I was extremely impressed at just how well it worked. It felt like I was playing it locally on my PC. And that means a lot coming from me because I do play a lot of multiplayer games on my PC. Don't want to take my word for it though? Then go look at Digital Foundry's review of the newest 5080 upgrades to the server, in which they were all extremely impressed. GFN is achieving quite amazing things as of late, and it's only going to continue to get better. Real talk, it's an absolutely massive difference from where we were just a few years ago. I expected change and improvements to happen, but not at the pace that nvidia's been laying them out. Cloud gaming is very much so a viable option, and I don't mean just for single player games, multiplayer titles too, and this is proof of it. But as I and many others who have been covering the cloud space have always said, the proof is in the pudding and you gotta try it out for yourself to see what it's like. So if you're watching this video with any sort of faint interest in cloud gaming, or maybe you have a PC that's not running the game all too hot, and you happen to have a pretty decent connection, especially to the GFN servers, give GFN Ultimate a shot, you won't regret it. Either way, let me know your experience of playing Battlefield 6 on GFN down in the comment section below. If you liked the video, hit the like button, want more like it, subscribe to not miss out, and of course, this has been Steven from Anytime Anywhere Gaming, wishing you a great day. And until next time, I'll catch you in the clouds.